What it do, lineage? What it do? What it do? What it do? This is your brother Chief Flying Eagle with another video, man. About to go in right now. About to go in. Let me make sure I got audio on Facebook. Give me 1 second, please. Give me 1 second. Make sure we got audio on Facebook. Now, about to go in. We good. We good. We good. We good. Greetings once again to all. First off, I would like to thank the ancestors once again. Always, man. We putting in that work. We putting in that work. We got work to do. You feel me? All right. It's saying, let me see, can't post comments in some location. What's going on here, man? I wonder if Facebook is playing with my joint. I'm gonna have to check on that. Let me see. Boom. It says, wait, let me see. Read. I can't put certain comments on certain places. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, hope everybody's doing good. About to get into a little deal, share some information with y'all. I'm certainly sure that some of the information I'm going to share here, it might not be a surprise to you, but I like to break things down from a different perspective and not just giving you the what I see as issues, but I always like to give solutions because I'm very, very solution based, right? I focus more on the solution than I focus on the problem. Now, I'll mention the problem, but I won't focus on the problem. You see, focusing on the problem, it plants a lingering seed, and I don't like to do those things. So I plant seeds of solution opposed to the seeds of the problem or the cause of the outcome, right? So in this build, I'm going to talk about wealth disparity in the United States and consumer report with Chief. All right. Um, and once we are done with this, I really would like for you to fall back. You know what I mean? Just kind of fall back and reflect on everything that I said and look at your life. Look at the life of the people around you. And something should be able to strike an accord within your own body, within your own mind, within your own soul, within your own spirit to let you know that we have to do something different to get something different. My brothers and sisters, we cannot keep climbing the same ladder every time. When we get to the top of the tree, there's no fruits to eat. All right. We cannot keep going around in the same spiral, you know, uh, like hamsters in a hamster's wheel. We thinking we're making progress, but we are not. We can't keep going around or through that revolving door and don't exit the rat race. You see, we always talking about revolution when you don't really realize that a revolution, you feel me, is a revolution. Basically, what that means is you're going around a revolving door. That's what it is. So if you're going through a revolving door and you don't know how to exit when you get outside of the building, you're going to get back right into the building of struggles, into that survival mode, into the building of the rat race, into the building of survival. And there's a reason why we, as the original Americans, we are not living the American dream, because the dream is not an illusion. It's only an illusion to us because the carrots keep being dangled in front of our faces. All right. And the closer we get to that carrot, the more the system pull it away from us. So everyone else gets to live the American dream. Reason being, when they put the carrots in front of their faces, they give them an opportunity to bite the carrot. Not just bite the carrot, but eat the whole damn carrot. With us, they'll give you a little taste, and then they take away the entire carrot, and we keep chasing it because we got a taste of it. Therefore, we have to keep changing the way we think. When we change the way we think, we'll change the things we do. When we change the things we do, we'll change the outcomes we get. All right. And there's a reason why, like I told y'all before, they're going to continue to censor my videos. Don't let it go to my subscribers. You know what I mean? And I know it's part of a plan. It's okay. But the few of y'all that's actually seeing the videos, I'm glad that you are connecting And the little difference that I'm making, I'm thankful for that. So with that being said, greetings on my sister Mahogany. I haven't seen anyone on Facebook yet, but hopefully you guys will catch that live later. I'm going to share my screen here. And let's get to sharing a little something. All right. Which one I'm going to look at first? Of wealth among. Now, check this out. We're going to look at the percentages of wealth among different ethnic groups. That's what we're going to take a look at right now. The first one we're going to look at is Asians. Okay? Asians. In terms of ethnic groups. Okay? I'm going to show you some things. In 2022, Asian American households had more wealth than other racial and ethnic groups in the United States. All right. Now it says the median wealth of Asian American households was higher than the median wealth of white, black, and Hispanic households. So therefore, Asians have the most money coming in within their households. And they have had that record for quite some time. Okay? Quite some time. In 2022, the median wealth of Asian American households was $553,000. You feel me? Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Let's go to the next. Pay attention now. Pay attention. Let's go to the next one. Let us go to the next one. And of course, in that search, I put Europeans and nothing was really coming up. You know what I mean? Because they of course, when I specifically, try to get that information, they will not call the so-called white people in the Americas. You know what I'm saying? They won't call them Europeans. They'll call them Americans. So I've been playing with the algorithm, and they know exactly what they're doing. So the only way for me to get that statistic is to put white, but we know they are not white. All right. White households in the United States hold a disproportionate amount of the country's wealth. In 2022, white households held over 80% of the nation's assets. So we are not just talking about fiat currency. We are not just talking about the paper money. We are not talking about federal notes. Not just that. We're talking about assets on a whole. My brothers and sisters, there's a difference between assets and liabilities. You feel me? Okay? And if you lie about your ability, then you become a liability. I'm going to repeat that. If you lie about your ability, you become a liability. And that's what our people are doing. We are lying about our ability. And I'll tell you exactly what I mean by that. Because we are always talking about, let us do this, let us come together, let's do this and do that. We have the ability to do all these things. We have the ability to come together. We have the ability to do group economics. We have the ability to be this and be that. But we are lying to each other because we are not making the moves to make these things happen. So therefore, you are lying about your ability. As a result, by default, you become a liability. You feel me? So don't get mad at other ethnic groups because they were taught the game. Don't get mad at other ethnic groups because they learned the game. No one taught us the game. Nobody taught us the game. So therefore, we have to learn the game on our own. That's why we are so far behind. But the beauty about it is because of our genetic makeup, because this land is our land and it's going to vibrate to our frequency more. Once you change that frequency that you're on, it's easy for us to surpass any other ethnic group in our motherland, because this is our motherland. We could own 80% of the assets and wealth. You feel me? We could do that if we want to, but we got to stop lying about our abilities and stop becoming liabilities and learn how to become assets, especially when it comes to dealing with each other. So those are the statistics of so-called, I'm saying so-called white, so you know what I'm talking about, but they are not white, so-called white people in the United States. We're going to go to the next ethnic group. All right. We are going to go to, hold on for 1 second. Let me see something. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, please. Now we are going to go to next one, Hispanic. Hispanic. No, that's not the one. Yes, Hispanic. All right. Hispanic Americans own a small percentage of the total wealth in the United States. However, their wealth growing and they are the fastest growing ethnicity in the country. In the median wealth of the Hispanic household was $48,720, which was about 20% of the median wealth of non-Hispanic household. 2022, the wealth gap between Hispanic households and non-Hispanic households was narrowing, but non-Hispanic white households still had more than twice the wealth of the Hispanic household. Okay? Some projections estimate that Hispanic families will own between 2.6% and 3.2% of the total U.S. wealth. So that is still a small percentage. You feel me? Let us go to the next one. The people who claim that they're the original people of the land. We're talking about the Native Americans, right? Check this out. According to available data, Native Americans hold approximately 9% of the total wealth in the United States, meaning their collective wealth is around 1/10 of the national average wealth. Studies show that the median of wealth of Native Americans is significantly lower compared to the national average. All right. High poverty rate. Native Americans have the highest poverty rate among racial groups in the U.S. Disparity in home ownership. The home ownership rate among Native Americans is also lower than the national average. All right. There's a reason for that. Okay. Even if Native Americans, they get the perk of claiming to be the original Americans, they are extremely poor. Okay, because the U.S. know that they're not the original people and they can't talk. So they only have to take what's given to them and they have to shut up. They can't say too much, else the rug will be pulled out from underneath their entire reality. We could talk because they know. That's why our votes is always the most important. We have the power. Most of us just don't realize that. Okay? Let us proceed. Next. Boom, we got that. Let us go to the so-called African Americans. Let's go to our people now. Check this out. Here we go. According to recent data, African Americans hold approximately 4% of the total wealth, despite making up about 13% of the population. This significant disparity highlights the racial wealth gap in the United States. Key points. White Americans, so-called white American households hold the majority. So-called white Americans hold about 85% of the national wealth. Median wealth disparity. The median wealth of so-called black households is significantly lower compared to so-called white households. But the point is this: we have the lowest percentage of wealth, 4%. 4% in the United States. Now, mind you, when it comes to all the other ethnic groups that I spoke of, there is a percentage that they are being compared to. Pay attention. If you realize each and every one of them, Hispanic, so-called white, so-called black, so-called Native American, they all have a percentage. And our people have the lowest percentage of wealth in the United States. But our people floss the most. I'm not done yet. Pay attention. The next ethnic group I'm going to get into are the so-called Jewish people. And I'm just going to leave it as that, so-called Jewish people. You read between the lines. Here's the interesting thing about this. All right? Here's the interesting thing about this. Jews are not a specific percentage of the United States wealth. Listen to what I'm saying here. So-called African Americans, so-called Hispanic Americans, so-called Native Americans, so-called white Americans, okay, what other group did I call? I think that's it, right? They all are considered to be a percentage, or they have percentages when it comes to wealth within the United States. But here we are. Jews, so-called Jews, are not a specific percentage of the U.S. However, they are the richest religious group in the United States. It didn't say people. They are a religious group. When I keep teaching my people and talking to my people don't take heed to my voice. And I'm talking about the majority of y'all, not the specific group that, we always meet up, on a weekly basis, or we talk every single day through our community on WhatsApp. I'm talking about the general consensus, the mass population of so-called black people in the United States that are actually indigenous to this land. I keep talking to y'all, but for some reason, that voice is going in one ear and is going out the next. You feel me? Let's read this again, because everybody's categorized ethnically by a percentage in regards to wealth. But the Jews are not considered or not categorized in that percentage. Why? Because they are in a bracket by themselves. They are not part of an ethnic group. They are actually a religious group. I'm giving y'all the jewels, man. That's why I'm teaching my people how to become ministers. You see, man, I don't know, man. Sometimes, like I said, I just want to cry, bro. And I do cry sometimes. I do. You feel me? It's crazy. And they make up 2% of the U.S. population, but 25% of the 400 wealthiest Americans. Now look at the percentage, how small it is. They make up about 2% of the U.S. population. They say we make up about 13%, but trust me, it's a whole lot more than that. We close to about 50%. They just don't want us to know the true numbers. Because if we know we're the majority in numbers, then they know it's a problem. But let us read. And the factors that contribute to the wealth of the so-called Jewish people: education. Jews have higher levels of education than other Americans, including more college and graduate degrees. So it doesn't matter what degree you have going to college, every Jew on your block is more educated than you. So what does that prove? And they're the smallest percentage, and they have the most wealth. So basically, what I'm trying to tell you is your master's degree and your PhDs and your associate degrees don't mean a damn thing. No disrespect. Because the Jews are proving otherwise. They have their own community. It's called group economics. They look out for each other. They are a religious organization. They're not an ethnic group. Business entrepreneurship. Jews have a strong tradition of business entrepreneurship, opposed to our people, because we have been taught to be consumers. If you see all these reality shows and all these rappers and all these singers, if they were teaching our people about businesses instead of teaching our people how to spend and floss and go to strip clubs and let it rain and buy this $10,000 iPhones and $10,000 sneakers, but you were seeing them opening up businesses and rapping about a business instead of killing, rapping about a business instead of talking about women and hoes, where would we be? But it's all by design, and we promote it and we allow it. So they have a strong tradition of business, entrepreneurship. They support each other. I have a business, you don't support it. See how long I've been promoting my book. I have 11 books and I have to beg my own people to come support me. But yet still every single day I'm on here giving you information every day. I don't ask for a dime. How do you expect to flourish? How do you expect to prosper when you're not doing the right thing spiritually? You're not reciprocating. And that's what life is all about. You're so individualized, you don't realize that self-individuality is self-destructive behaviors. Networking. Jews have a strong network of skills because they know who to call. How many of us, if we're in a situation right now, we could call somebody and say, hey, listen, man, I'm on the deathbed. I need $2,000. We don't have that community. So most likely you're going to die. I mean, of course, we know death is an illusion, but still, for the purpose of this conversation, let's just assume it was real. What if you need to move and there's a situation going? How many of us you could actually call and everybody would just show up? What if you got into a legal situation and you need your brothers and sisters to show? How many of us could just say, let me just get on a flight and go help my sister down there or my brother down there? How many of us could do that and show up in thousands of numbers? This is why we are be lacking, man. That's why I tell people I ain't black. I don't want to be lack. I want to show us how to be in abundance. That's why I do these videos. Perception. So-called Jews have a quick perception and ability to seize opportunities. My brothers and sisters, I'm teaching you. That's why they are not poor. Because the acronym POOR, P-O-O-R, it stands for passing over opportunities repeatedly. That's why our people stay poor. When Jews see the opportunity, they seize it. They grab the bull by the horn. Let's rock. They pull the entire community and they take it over. Don't believe anything that I tell you, because if I ask you to believe me, I'm lying to you. Go into Brooklyn right now. See, we are in a so-called recession, but buildings and houses in every corner of Brooklyn going up. Guess who putting it up? So-called Jews. But we're in a recession though. And who's affording all these high rents in Brooklyn right now? Caucasian people, because they're moving into Brooklyn, taking over Brooklyn. People don't realize that these people have a language. They're connected. The goal is to make sure that the slaves stay where they belong. So they got to keep you black. They got to keep you African American. They got to keep you poor. They got to keep pushing those videos on BT and MTV and all these different platforms. It's by design. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. You will never see, I'm not saying you will never, but they will not just allow, unless we change things, a KRS-One, you know what I mean, in terms of the likes of his music. They wouldn't allow a KRS-One to become a multi-millionaire with a contract. And I'm talking about KRS-One in his early days or even now. Right? They wouldn't do that. Mass immigration began in 1882, and the Jews entered new fields where initiative was needed. The initiative have always been here, but we did not seize the moment because we got comfortable. We figure we at home, so what? My brothers and sisters, we can't give up. We got to stand up. You know what I'm saying? We got to stand up. We got to unite, man. How do you come in 1882 and by 2024, you're the richest? You're the biggest. You control everything. Well, I know how. Of course, a lot of it was given away. I get it, right? Income distribution among so-called Jewish Americans. In 2022, 44% of Jewish Americans reported making $100,000 or more. Hmm? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine everyone in your family making 100,000? In 2021, roughly half of Jews reported annual household incomes of at least 100,000. I think I've showed you enough. All right? So we don't have to get into all of that. But I'm just giving you the facts. And if everything that I teach you, it doesn't do anything to you or for you, man, I don't know what else will, because I'm giving you the hard facts. So know that the people who are running things, I just literally expose who they are. That's why they are where they are. They run things. They run things. You feel me? Let's go to the next one. Let us go to the next one. The next one. And this is the saddest part to me, because this one right here hits home, because I see it every single day. We only have about 4% of the wealth in the US, not just assets. We're talking about monetary wise, right? Assets, it's even lower, it's even worse. You feel me? But look at this right here. According to available data, African American communities is considered what? The largest consumer group in the United States, with a significant buying power of over $1 trillion annually. Every year we spend $1 trillion in this corporation, but we are the poorest people in the corporation. Somebody let it make sense. So obviously, what they are teaching our people, or our people are learning, something is emphatically wrong with that situation. How can we be spending the most, but we're the most broke? But it makes sense. If you spend the most, then you will be broke because you're not investing. But we don't practice group economics. We don't support each other. That is the problem. And we'll continue to go down that spiral, a trend, okay, of poverty if we don't change something. Like I told you before, the acronym POOR, poor, passing over opportunities repeatedly. And in 2025, we have a perfect opportunity to change the dynamics of our situation, of our reality in the United States. We don't have to wait until summer. We don't have to wait until September. We don't have to wait until December 31st and make a New Year resolution, because we all know what resolution means. All resolution means is resolution. But how can you have a resolution if you never had the solution? And if you had the solution, there's no need to make a resolution. That might have gone over some heads. But like 50 Cent said, I'm not going to talk slower, just listen faster. You feel me? So it doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. And we're dealing with money and still not making sense. We have the smallest percentage of wealth, 4%, among all the other ethnic groups. But we have a spending power of over $1 trillion. Can you imagine if only 10% of us decided we're going to come together and work together, build and support each other? Do you know what that would be? Key points. High spending power. My brothers and sisters, consumers get consumed. Consumers get consumed. Black consumers have a large collective buying power, often compared to the GDP of many countries. All right? Growth spending. The buying power of the Black community has been steadily increasing over the recent years. Influence in specific sectors. Black consumers have significant influence in beauty and personal care categories, particularly in ethnic hair care products. That's where all that money is being spent. It's our sisters buying false hair and false nails and makeup and all that, getting everybody rich, and not realizing that's crippling our people. Now, I'm not picking on you, my sister, But comprehend what I'm saying. Why do you think Asians are where they're at? Because you're getting them rich every weekend, every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever the case is during the week. Their stores with nails, fake nails, it's packed. I remember growing up when my sisters used to do their nails. My cousins, they used to do their own nails. They sat in a circle. They would have their little cotton balls and their little what's that alcohol and their little what you call it their little nail polishes, and that was beautiful. It was beautiful. As a matter of fact, I used to help. I learned how to do the nails, and I used to help them out. Well, I just like being around their friends anyway. But you get what I'm saying. So I always wondered why, if our women spend so much money on beauty and cosmetics and hair and all those things, why don't a group of them come together? You know why? Because they always tell you, oh, well, black women can't get along. I can't stand this one. I can't stand this B. I can't do this. And it's all it's mental disease. They taught you how to hate yourself. They taught you how to hate yourself. And then we have this new trend. We have this new trend, like we want to get rich on TikTok. We want to get rich in all these different places. Well, to become, viral and all that. But it comes with a price. It comes with a price. Because most times to go viral, it's not going to be things you're talking about to make you better a lot of the times, to improve your life a lot of the times. Don't you think the things that I talk about, that should be viral? But it's not viral. It's not. Because the algorithms don't promote those things. It is all by design. The algorithms is set up to attract the low vibrational energies. And that's how they want you to get wealthy. We don't have to go on TikTok and get viral to be wealthy. We don't have to do none of that. We are the original people of the land. All we have to do is stand up. We don't have to become basketball players to get wealthy. We don't have to become football players to get drafted. We don't have to do that. All we have to do is stand up and make a stand that we are the original people, and I promise you, things will change. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it may not change with a little bloodshed. That might happen, but I'm ready. Because the system is not just going to allow you to take it. Even if they know that was the deal. They give it to you for a certain time. Your time is up. Give it back. But they will not do that. And they know we have never lost the physical war. They know this. I mean, we already got the warriors. They all in the streets. So we ain't got to focus on that. Those of us who know, okay, those of us who know, we'll have to stand up on that. You feel me? You did. Well, I mean, AD, I'm not going to dispute that. Maybe the numbers may be off, but I don't want you to miss the message. Okay? Don't focus on the numbers like that. I could see what's happening around me. So I could see with my own eyes, even without the numbers and the statistics. You feel me? So don't focus on the numbers, really. Focus on the message. Because nothing anybody say could make my message be flawed. Because my message is never flawed. Regardless of what, the message is on point. Because I look around me and I see it. I'm in the hood. So I know what I'm talking about. Because when I look in the beauty salons, who do I see? When I look in the nail salons, who do I see? When I look in the corner stores, who do I see? Who are the biggest consumers? When the new stickers come out in the hood, who do I see? I'm not saying other people don't do it. I'm not saying that. I could only talk about my own. Now, when you tell me my message is flawed, then that's something for me to think about. You feel me? So focus on the message, man. That's what it's about. The message. Did you get it? Because when I go to Brooklyn, I don't see all people building the buildings. The Jews doing it. So tell me how the statistics is wrong. I don't know where you live at. I live in Brooklyn. And every corner, they're the ones putting up homes. Every household, they're knocking on doors so our people could sell their buildings. All right? I know what I'm talking about. We don't police our own communities because we don't have a community. We got neighborhoods. We got to do something different to get something different. That's my message. And we got to stop thinking that we cannot support each other. We got to stop thinking we can't look out for each other. We got to stop thinking that we can't come together. That's why it's called business. Contracts can be written. You don't have to trust somebody to do business with them. I don't see billionaires beefing. Mark Zuckerberg, the owners of TikTok, who else? All this Elon Musk. I don't see them beefing. What they do, they come together and they say, okay, you know what? We got a situation here. We know there's money to be made. I'm doing my thing. You doing your thing. You doing your thing. But don't forget that we all could make money if we play everybody. You feel me? And that's what's going on. We are always being played because we don't know how to play the game. Millionaires don't beef with each other. Only broke people beef with each other. Only broke people beef with each other. When there is a problem, millionaires come to the table. When we have a problem, we want to take it to the streets. When we have a problem, we want to take it on Facebook and social media and air it out. You open up a business, 1 or 2 days, a week, a month or so, people support you. All of a sudden, they're going to find every problem in the book to stop supporting you. Opposed to coming together if they have a little problem. Hey, you know what, brother? Blase, blase, blah. Sister, blase, blase, blah. That's the mentality of our people, man. Now, I'm not saying everybody. Of course, there's always exception to the rule. My sisters could come together and learn some way, somehow to corner the weave and the hair product game. They could do it, but they just think that they can never get along. That's what they keep telling themselves, because that's what was taught to them. And if the manufacturers are making it difficult for you to get it, then travel and get it. Come together, travel and get it. If that's still a problem, then stop wearing it. You got natural, beautiful hair. Let it grow. Treat your hair. It will grow back. Everybody ain't got to have long hair. You heard Lloyd, long hair don't count. Your hair is not what makes you beautiful. Your nails is not what make you beautiful. It's what's emitting within you that makes you beautiful. That's where the true beauty is. And there's nothing wrong with a little accessory. I never said that. But let us look at it from an economical standpoint. Group economics. We got to do better, man. And that's all I'm saying. We got to do better. We got to do better. You know, and I'm not the first one who've said it. There are many others who have said it and are still saying it. And I've said it before. I just wanted to reiterate it today. I'm not a content creator. I'm a message giver. There's a difference. I'm not here to create content. I'm here to give messages, because I know by giving the message, if the message fall on the ripe ear, then they will get that message and will come together and do what we got to do. We don't need everybody. If we could only get 1,044 of us, 1,044, and each individual get one, each one get one, see how fast we're going to get to 10,000. The Nation of Islam, all right, Farrakhan people, it's about 10 to 15, 20,000 of them for the most. You feel me? And look at the power they have as a collective group in regards to a voice, in regards to a platform. Can you imagine with us that know we American Indians, if we get to at least just only about 2,000 to 3,000 of us, only about 2,000 to 3,000, and we do a call, right? I don't mind paying for the subscription, whether it's on Zoom or wherever that could host about 1,000 or more people. Pay for a subscription of that, and we do a call and we show everybody we united. 2,000 of us on one call, talking about we reclaiming our birthright. Do you know how that's going to spread like wildfire? And each and every individual taking that call and posting it all over the place. Man, you want to create fire? And I'm not talking about literal fires to go burn people's places. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a fire from within that's going to awaken the truth about who we are. We don't have to struggle. Like I said, we don't have to go beg people for jobs. I mean, we got to do it now because, you know, that's everybody got bills to pay. I get it. All right. So I'm not asking you to quit your job. No, I've never done that. If you go through all my videos, everything that I teach, I tell my people, check this out. Okay. Don't cut your nose to spite your face. What do I mean by that is leave a cut into your means. Don't just because you hear things on the internet, you go quit your job or you give up your driver's license because you hear people talking about traveling and driving and all that. No, don't put yourself in that predicament if you cannot afford to do that. I will never give you those type of advice because I'm responsible. I will not do that. That falls on me, on my karma. So I give you the message, but I also ask you to move with caution, especially when you need a benefit to help you get there. Don't do that. But as a collective coming together, we could sustain and become autonomous, where we don't have to depend on outside sources to sustain our livelihood. A brother reached out to me earlier. All right. He left his number. I called him. We stayed on the phone for like about an hour. I'm giving him information. How many people you know that does that? That's actually on YouTube or TikTok, wherever the case be. And they have thousands and thousands and thousands of followers. They don't do it. They don't do it because why? They are content creators. I am truly here for my people. And anybody will tell you when they reach out, I call them if they want me to call them. I send them by number. I talk to them. And I don't charge them to talk to them. We sit on the phone for over an hour. He had questions about being an American Indian. How can he start tracing his lineage? I gave him a blueprint. I didn't charge him for it. Maybe I'm a fool. I don't know. But I do it. Look, tonight I have a class. I'm going to teach my people how to become ministers. I'm not charging them for it. Maybe I'm a fool. I don't know. But I'm not charging them for it. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm the one I'm not seeing what everybody else is seeing. So I'm done here. Just wanted to come and talk to you guys about that. Hopefully somewhere in this video, it will strike a nerve. It will strike something with your core to look back and reflect and realize we got to do something different. My brothers and sisters, we have to realize this. It don't have to be 1 million of us to make this thing happen. 50, 100 of us could come together. And I know there are small cities with less than 500 people. We could do that and thrive. Look out for each other. Have a community where everybody don't pay individual bills. The entire community come together. All right. The entire community come together and everybody pitch in once a month to take care of all the bills for the small community. We could do it. I know how to do these things. Like I always tell you, I just can't do it alone. So I keep reaching out to my brothers and sisters, but your heart is so hardened. You're so used to the struggle. You are so used to surviving, and you think that's life. If you don't get up and have to go to work, you don't think you're living. No, I get it. That's what you got to do for now, but we don't have to be in that predicament. You dig? We don't have to be. The world is waiting on us. Abundance is waiting on us. We are living in the nine. We are nine ether beings. What do you think that mean? What do you think that mean? It's time for the ether beings to thrive. When you look at the current political atmosphere, it is not set up so that we could thrive. Of course, we're going to eat from a little piece of the pie. But let me tell you something. That entire pie belongs to us. And everybody else is eating up for that pie. And we are getting the crumbs. Aren't you tired? Aren't you tired of getting the crumbs? Aren't you tired of being underneath the table and whatever, the system drop on the floor, we get to eat it? I don't know about you, but I'm tired. Come on, man. So I'm about to be on here for like about 50 minutes. So I'm going to conclude this live. Let me just, I know there are a few people that's on Facebook. So let me just give a few shout outs, man. Brother Romero, greetings, brother. My sister Diane, who's that? I'm just gonna say Shovia Med. All right, I can't pronounce the first part of it, but I apologize. So just saying what's up. Trey Amen Blanks Bay, just saying what's up, showing some love. Who else do we have? I think it's Ayo or Ayo. Ayo. All right. Thank you for watching. All right. Who else do we have? Sister Lisa. Who else do we have? I'm just looking at a few people on Facebook. Who else do we have? All right. I'm trying to see who we have on Facebook. All of a sudden, I can't see it no more. Man, I'm telling you, man, this is bugged out. But it's all right though. Let me see who we have on Facebook, man. On Facebook, we got Sister Mahogany. All right. Who else we have? Supreme Health and Wealth. We got Goddess Empress Everlasting Water. We have AD. Thank you for being here. Who else do we have? DD. Thank you. Salute to you as well. And that's it, man. That's it. In life, a lot of times, we just gotta take a chance. All right. We at this point, we don't have anything to lose, lineage. We ain't got nothing to lose. There's only room to go up. We have already hit the bottom. I told you, and I've broken that down before. It's a cycle. And we have gone through the cycle of being at the bottom, because that's where we were supposed to end up. Because why? We were the first, so we have to be the last. So that prophecy is completed. It's done. You choosing to be the last or choose to stay at the bottom is a matter of choice. It's a matter of choice. Right now, things are in our favor because we are on a rescending arc of ascension. You feel me? So therefore, the odds are now in our favor. It's not going to be as hard as you think it is. It's not going to be as hard as the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, because our ancestors fought that fight. That was like the toughest part of it. And they took us through that. It didn't just happen in the United States. It was all over the Americas. But it was centered in the United States because of course, that's where it was being broadcast the most. But the point I'm making is our ancestors stood the test of time and took us through that period. And then the 80s come. We still had to go through the crack cocaine, the drugs in the neighborhood. Then the 90s came with the thugs and the gangsters. The music started changing. We went through all of that and we made it. Give thanks to the ancestors. But now we are at a point where the winds and the odds are in our favor because we came through the toughest times, the hardest times, when they took the fathers out of the homes. You dig? But now we are at a point where, like I said, the energy is different, the frequency is different, and it's our time. We're no longer supposed to be last. We're no longer supposed to be at the bottom. All we have to do is just, do you know, like, if you are actually on sailing, right? And at some point, if the wind is in your favor, you don't have to use your gas in the boat. You don't have to use your how would I put it? Your whatever the boats they run on, right? You don't have to use that. You could just use the wind and let the boat sail. And this is where we are at right now as so-called Black people in the United States, in any part of the Americas. All we have to do is allow the sail to take us where we got to go because the wind is in our favor. I know what I'm talking about. It is not going to be as difficult as you think. We are not going to have such a hard time that our ancestors had. I want y'all to prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Let's come together and make those moves and see what happens and prove me wrong. We can't be stopped. We can't. Can you imagine having a national, a national, whatever you want to call it, just like how they have the national convention, with the inauguration, and look at the crowd, you would see exactly what this new political atmosphere is designed for. Yes, it's designed to make America great again. It's designed to make to bring in the golden age. But look at the atmosphere and see who's going to benefit from that. Y'all playing like y'all blind. And it's not a black and white thing. That's what's being perceived. That's what's being perceived. But can you imagine we do our own convention as the American Indians of this land, and about 10, 15, 20, 30, 40,000, 60,000 of us in one arena. And we know who we are. I've seen it in visions. I know it can happen. Why can't we make it a reality? We'll shake the entire earth when it happens, not if, but when. Because I'm not going to stop. I'm going to continue to be relentless until it becomes a reality. My question to you is, are you willing to play your part for our children and their children and their children and their children? Because somebody did it for us. Are you going to continue to be selfish and think it's just about you? We are the change that we need. It is really that simple. I'm glad you asked when, Sister Diane. We got to set that up. We got to organize that. We got to organize that. You're part of the community, so you know we could always come together and talk about it. So my email is in the link of the description of the video. Reach out to me. And like I said, let's build. Let's start making some things happen. All right? So y'all enjoy the rest of your continuation. Enjoy the rest of the 24. This may or may not be the final live I'm doing for today. Well, maybe I probably wouldn't do another live because I got a class this evening. I'm going to be showing our community how to become ministers. All right, so that's what I'm going to be doing. But those of you, any one of you guys that want to be a part of the class, just go ahead and send me an email. My email is in the link below. I will add you to our community. We are not building a neighborhood. We are building a community. And I like what we have thus far. We are making moves. All right. It's manifesting. I'm planting those seeds. I'm planting those seeds. I've already seen us on a national scale, on a national platform, with our people walking to a stage, or everybody at that arena know that they're American Indians. Okay. I've seen it. And I'm gonna put that into manifestation because I've planted the seed. And I'm asking my ancestors to show us favor and make it happen. And it's done. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word became flesh. So this is a reality. I'm planting that seed. 2025, the year of the 9. All right. Or put it that way, not the year of the 9, but the frequency of the 9. The 9 ether beings. It's time for us to rise. All right. I'm going to talk to y'all later, man. I always love y'all. You know, like Whitney Houston said, right? I always love you. We'll talk soon. My brother Robert just got in, but glad you made it. We're about to get out of here. So you could always check out the recording or the replay of this. All right. One love.